right, good morning, everybody. Today I wanted to talk to you about a couple of themes that we've already seen the last couple of days when it comes to heroism and being more than a bystander, and that's to be kind and be brave. And there's three takeaways that I hope you get from this talk this morning about what being kind and being brave looks like. And the first thing to think about is when you make brave choices and when you make the decision to be kind, you have to make pivotal decisions. You have to be able to make a decision in the moment that might be different from the plan that you had, might be different from the path, might be different from the path that you had in front of you. So making a decision in the moment is the first takeaway. The second is to accept that when you are brave and when you are kind, you have to accept that sacrifices are possible. You might lose something, you might have to give away something, something might happen that you didn't expect. But having that acceptance is part of it. And the third is to let go of the outcome. So we aren't brave because we might get accolades or recognition for it. And we aren't kind because people will think we're kind or we might impress somebody. We're kind and we're brave because that's what we need to do. A little bit about myself. I've run a travel program for the last 13 years. And I take people, students, adults to South Africa, Thailand, Cambodia, Nicaragua, Costa Rica. Basically, it's through travel that I understand that people can explore, they can connect, they can discover things about themselves that they might never have been able to discover before. Whew, sorry, can I just breathe in and out real fast? I am crazy nervous. I don't know why. I'm trying not to. Whew. I'm rushing through things, and I don't want to. I really want to explain what I do because it's important. So through these programs, I've seen people connect with themselves. They grow in ways they never would have because they're doing pretty incredible things. So what I wanted to do today was to talk to you about Thailand and being brave and being kind through working with elephants in Thailand. But a few weeks ago, something happened that changed the course of my life, actually. And change this entire talk. So I live full-time in Nicaragua. I've been there for 9 years. This is a road outside my house. I don't know if you can make out that person on the left is actually a small kid on a horse. That's a motorcycle without a helmet. Often there are pigs. There are cows running around the roads. There's dogs, farmers on bicycles. So it's very rural, right? So I drive a pretty big truck, an old truck. Some of you guys have seen the truck. And anyway, so I was driving down this road in Nicaragua to pick up a group who were actually flying down from Wisconsin to have one of these experiences with me, personal growth, leadership through travel. But on the way to the airport, a little dog ran in front of me, and I hit her with my truck. So back to being kind and being brave and having to make decisions in a moment that you didn't plan on making. Right? I'm on my way to pick up a group. I planned this trip for a long time. It's my livelihood. We're all excited to meet each other and get started. And then this awful thing happened. So what I did was I pulled over. And the little thing was alive, but obviously wounded and bleeding. So I pulled over. I just left my truck open, laptop, money, everything in the front seat. It didn't matter. Just went and picked her up and put her in the front seat of my car. And then just drove to the local vet, which was happened about 20 minutes away. And in panicky Spanish, just explained what had happened. And then I told the vet, I'll be back. I'll be back for this little dog. I've got to go show up for my group and not tell them what just happened and try not to cry all the way to the airport and figure it out. All right, so I picked up my group, took them to the location they needed to be at. And then the very next morning, I went back to the vet. And saw this little tiny thing, right, her cast and everything. And then again, okay, what's the kind thing? What's the brave thing? I don't usually have pets because I travel for a living and, the freedom and the responsibility. But with her, I was like, okay, you're coming home with me. So I put her in my truck and I drove her home. And from then on, I was like, okay, we've got a new family member and I'm going to have to make more kind decisions and more brave decisions. And today's really a talk about the ongoing situations that we face. Once we do one brave thing and one kind thing, we keep doing that. And that's how we get the best result. That's how we keep doing the good thing, the needed thing. So be kind, be brave. The second thing that I told you that I wanted you to take from this is to accept there could be sacrifices. So I don't know how many of you here have a puppy or even a kid or something that relies on you. Yeah, it's a lot of work, and your whole day is changed because they're first, right? Especially if you have a puppy that's wounded. So accepting there could be sacrifices to your day, to your finances, to your priorities was a big one. That's my cat there. She was not ready to accept any sacrifices. She's still not. I'm working on her. She'll come around. Yeah, that's Tino. There's other stories I have about her for other times. Right, so be kind, be brave. The third thing that I wanted you to take away from this is to let go of the outcome of your decision. Just do it. So what I had on my hands here was this puppy. I've named her Roo for kangaroo because she's very bouncy, and obviously the ears. But what happened with her injury is her scapula was broken, and she was bleeding out her chest, and she had stitches here, but she also lost feeling. She had pretty significant nerve damage all through this leg, and she couldn't move it, and the bones fused. So like how normal dogs have like their paw up and they move like this, she moves like this, which means she drags it. So that in that picture is a brace I brought down or had sent down from the States that would like reverse the motion. But after 2 months, it wasn't working. Her bones, it was just frozen like this. And then she's a puppy, and she's a very energetic puppy, and she doesn't know that she's injured. So she runs and plays like anything, and every time she takes one step out the door, it's full of gravel. She has this, it's an open wound here that just kept getting bigger, and it wasn't going away. And I took her to several different vets trying to be brave, be kind, take care of this little creature. And I ended up finding a few different solutions to keep her front paw wrapped so that she could run on the beaches and just live a normal life. But after 2 months, with this thing constantly staying open, to infection, to potential gangrene, to anything else that could have caused her further damage, I went to the good vet, and he advised that we amputate her leg. So that's another hard choice that was made for her. And I would love to actually tell you that she was brave, she was kind, but she doesn't know. She's just full of love and joy and excitement because she's a puppy. But I wanted to give you an example or show you what taking a dog to the good vet in Nicaragua looks like, right? So we're up here where it's very cold for me. And then down here is where I live, Nicaragua, right there in Central America. And if you zoom in a little bit more, you can see this huge lake. I was told in the taxi drive on the way here that it's the third largest lake in the Americas. And that lake is full of bull sharks. And in the middle of the lake, there are 2 islands connected. There are 2 volcanoes. And the good vet lives where that pink dot is. And I live where the star is. So that's about an hour drive through like farmland and volcanoes and more dogs and pigs in the road. And then I have to put my truck on a pretty old ferry. It's rusted and doesn't instill a lot of confidence, but it does the job. And I drove my truck onto the boat across the shark-filled lake, and then to this volcano island. There's the boat, and that's the volcano. And that's where the good vet is, the one who speaks English, who gets flown to the States to operate on animals. It's the best kind of care I can have for little Roo. And there she is on the boat. So all this just happened. So Thursday I made this trip. Friday she had her surgery. Saturday I flew here, and here we are talking about being brave and being kind. Instead of having it be about Thailand and elephants and this big exotic travel, this is something every day that can happen to any of us. So what I wanted you to think about from the talk today is when you are faced with a situation you didn't expect, if you use bravery and kindness as your compass, then only good things will follow, even if they're scary, even if they weren't expected, even if they make your cat mad. Like it's just something that if you stick to that, you won't go wrong. And I also wanted to end this with another slide to show you. You make pivotal decisions, accept that sacrifices are possible, let go of the outcome. And the outcome in this case is a really good ending for little Roo, who I haven't seen yet. I'll see her when I get home next week. There she is, my little 3-legged dog. And she is not. I know. Yeah, so part of me looks at that and thinks, I did that to her. But actually, I also did that to her. She's got a big purpose bigger than this. I don't know what it is yet, but be brave, be kind, and then we'll all get there. Thank you. Yeah.